First, a warning, I'm a little nervous and I might get kind of emotional, but I just wanted to start by thanking everybody so much for coming tonight. And I also want to thank Dick and Laura and and the rest of the committee members. Without them and everything that they've done, this event wouldn't be what it is. But I just want to take a few minutes out of the night to tell everybody a little bit about the cause that their contributions are going to help. As I was preparing, I was thinking maybe I would just stick to the facts tonight, try to sugarcoat things and make it seem like CF wasn't really as bad as it is, and it wasn't as scary. But then I would just leave out how it affected me every day, and how it affects me every day is real, and that's what cystic fibrosis really is. So I've heard that when I was a baby, cystic fibrosis meant my mom crying and begging doctors to do more tests to find out why her baby was so sick and seemingly dying. And then it meant my dad waking up in the morning before work and holding a tiny mask over my face for me to do my treatments. As I got a little bit older, cystic fibrosis meant being angry at my parents because they wouldn't let me share lip gloss and drinks with my girlfriends. They wanted to keep me away from germs. And it also meant an early bedtime, so I wouldn't get sick because I didn't have enough sleep. When I was in the 4th grade, cystic fibrosis meant being hospitalized. A week in the hospital, being poked and prodded, IVs in my hands, blood draws in the middle of the night. It meant my dad going out to get my favorite foods and then yelling at a nurse who was mean to me while I was gone. And it meant my mom attempting to sleep in a tiny little chair. It meant my baby sister coming to see me, scared to death, but fighting to hold back the tears so she could assure me that everything was going to be all right. As I got older, it meant not being able to run in sports without being winded and having to go to the nurse at school before I ate my meals so I could get my pills. In the 8th grade, cystic fibrosis meant having an internal bleed and losing half my blood. It meant being 13 and asking my mom if I was going to die, and I'm sure she was already scared to death. And if it wasn't for my parents' persistence and the 4 blood transfusions, I'm sure I would have died. My senior year of high school, cystic fibrosis meant being sick for about 2 months, seeing tons of doctors and going on different medications with no results. And I specifically remember having every chicken dish my mom knew how to cook prepared in the house all at once, because one of my medicines specified that that's about the only protein I could eat. It meant finally my ear, nose, and throat specialist telling me that my sinuses had so much buildup that it was moving the bone in my face, and this is why I was sore to the touch. Then it meant 2 surgeries, 2 horrible surgeries that caused spontaneous nosebleeds, loss of smell, and such horrible pain that even the Vicodin wouldn't touch it, and I thought something had gone horribly wrong. At the start of college, cystic fibrosis meant choosing a career path other than my top 2 picks, which were nursing and teaching because of all the germs. It meant visiting disability services to figure out my dorm living arrangements so I didn't have to explain my disease to strangers and be embarrassed to do my treatment in front of them every night. It meant having to choose grades over health every now and again to pull an all-nighter to study and getting sick as a result. Now, in my adult life, cystic fibrosis means pills, treatments, joint pain, sinus issues, stomach pain, and horrible constant coughing. Pills in the morning, pills before every meal and snack, pills with pain, and then more pills before bed. For treatments, it's an inhaler and an aerosolized saline solution in the morning. Then at night, another inhaler, followed by a vest that blows up for 30 minutes and shakes me to loosen the mucus in my lungs. And then after that, I do 2 more aerosolized treatments to finish it up. Cystic fibrosis is constant coughing. It's coughing so hard, I pull muscles in my back and stomach. It's sitting up in bed crying at night because I'm so tired, but I just can't stop coughing long enough to fall asleep. And cystic fibrosis is calling my mom at midnight because I coughed up blood and I'm scared to death. Just a few months ago, cystic fibrosis meant that since my grandma had pneumonia and I couldn't visit her in the hospital while she was dying, because that would risk getting pneumonia myself. It meant guilt for not being there, and it meant feeling selfish because I had to make a choice to put my health before spending the last few days with one of the most important women in my life. One thing many people don't know is people suffering from cystic fibrosis can't be around other people suffering from cystic fibrosis because we can give each other things that we can't give you and make each other very sick. So cystic fibrosis means not being able to have those around you who know what you're going through. And it means not being able to have that special type of support system. And probably the worst cystic fibrosis is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the statistics. For people with CF, the average lifespan is mid-30s, which for me is about 15 more years. And that is not enough time. I still want to graduate college and have time to work hard to make the money to play even harder. I want to have kids and grandkids, and I want to retire, and I want to grow old. And having children is something I wanted every day my whole life. Just like my mom, I'd have about 100 of them if I could. But cystic fibrosis means my children having a mom who has to call her mom for help if they get sick, and get sick often herself. Or a mom who has coughing attacks during their silent dance recital, or gets winded playing soccer with them in the yard. And it means they'll have a mom who could die before they even graduate high school. Is that fair? To knowingly put my children and their dad through that? So, some people hate birthdays. They hate the extra candle on the cake and the celebration of their old age. But I love it. To me, birthdays mean I've made it another year, and I'm 1 year closer to a cure. It means that I'm helping push that mid-30s average up a little higher and higher. And now for the good news. Fortunately, there are constantly new advancements, and life expectancy is getting higher and higher. So thanks to people like you and your generosity, we're well on our way to a cure. Since the gene was discovered in '89, we've had so many advancements. They've come out with medicines and treatments that I mentioned earlier to prolong life expectancy from age 10 in the 60s to now the mid-30s. And the most recent and exciting development is a drug, VX-770. This addresses the root cause of CF and helps the defective CF protein move to its proper place in the cell. Patients receiving this drug have experienced the highest increase on a lung function test seen in any clinical trial of a CF drug. They're currently working on producing VX-890, which is the same drug, only for people with a different gene mutation, Delta F508, and this is my mutation. So I've been told there's a possibility that I may be able to take this life-changing drug within just 2 years' time. People are always saying we're so close to a cure, anytime now. And I try not to believe it, and I try not to get my hopes up until I know for sure. But now it's too hard not to. A drug that gets to the root problem of CF is impossible not to get excited about. So I believe with events like this and people like you, I may soon be able to walk up and down a flight of stairs without getting winded and go an entire day without one single call. Together we can make CF stand for Cure Found. And I want to thank you all again so much for coming, and Dick and Laura again and the rest of the committee. This event is everything that I hoped for, and without your help it wouldn't be. So thank you. It means the world to me and my loved ones and the loved ones of other CF patients who are here with us tonight. So enjoy the food and the music, and hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Well, I think everybody now knows why we're here tonight and why this is such an important event. Incredible young woman, and I think all of us here realize how important it is for all of us to do anything we can to make sure she lives a full life. And she's an incredible woman. We thank her for her spirit and her being with us and her candidness tonight. So thank you again, Danny. Even though he will not approve, but I did just buy a new enclave so I can say whatever I want. We really need to thank one more person, my great friend Dick Garber, for all he's done for cystic fibrosis and for our entire community. And you've seen the Saginaw News article probably today, or if you haven't, you should. And it tells an incredible story about how Dick Garber is so dedicated to his family of employees and to supporting finding a cure for cystic fibrosis. So sorry, Dickie Pooh, but we love you. Let's give him a round.